we're back with the Torah. Let's see. It's been a little bit since I've read, since I shot the last episode, so I don't remember exactly where I left off. But I remember that there was a lot of flood water involved. Yes, Noah. So I did I did a little bit of research. I know that last episode I mentioned something about cubits. Now, cubits, I thought, because it's said in the Torah that the 15 cubits upwards did the waters strengthen and the mountains were covered. So to me, that seemed like, wow, so a mountain is 15 cubits. But I'm going to look it up right now. How long is a biblical cubit? 18 inches. From cubit in the Bible based on the forearm length, elbow to fingertip. So 15 inches did the water strengthen and the mountains were covered. These were small mountains. Small mountains, folks. I guess the mountains have increased in size since the Torah was communicated. As people as well. I think people are bigger. I know that because I'm 6'4". I don't think anyone was this tall in the Torah. I think I would have been a monster. I would have been Goliath. All right. I wonder how many cubits David was. We'll get to it. I think that's in the Torah, right? Or is that in the New Testament? I don't know. Maybe that's why this series is so exciting, because I truly don't know anything. I just know what like the average person knows. So I'm just learning right now, everything. So let's just start at the top of the page here in Genesis, Bereshit 20, so 7:21, I guess, is where we're starting, because, the flood inundates the world. All right. And all flesh that moves upon the earth expired, among the birds, the animals, the beasts, and all the creeping things that creep upon the earth, and all mankind. All in whose nostrils was the breath of the spirit of life, of everything that was on dry land, died. And he blotted out all existence that was on the face of the ground, from man to animals to creeping things and to the bird of the heavens, and they were blotted out from the earth. Only Noah survived, and those with him in the ark. And the waters strengthened on the earth 150 days. It's interesting that it's like, so I've been mentioning how quickly the Torah moves, and yet this paragraph was like 3 sentences that all said the same thing, and not even in a different way. It was said the same thing in multiple ways, or in the same way. He blotted out all the things. Everything died. Oh, and by the way, everything died. Hey, did I mention that everything died? Hey, just a quick note, everything died. Really specific about letting us know that everything, the creeping birds, all of it. Or not the creeping birds, the birds and the creepy crawlies. See what happens next. God remembered Noah and all the beasts and all the animals that were with him in the ark, and God caused a spirit to pass over the earth, and the waters subsided. The fountains of the deep and the windows of the heavens were closed, and the rain from heaven was restrained. The waters then receded from upon the earth, receding continuously, and the waters diminished at the end of 150 days. And the ark came to rest in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. I've heard of that. Ararat. Okay. The waters were continuously diminishing until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st of the month, the tops of the mountains became visible. Oh, so the water had subsided. Now it's just 14 cubits. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark, which he had made. He sent out the raven, and it kept going and returning until the waters dried from upon the earth. Then he sent out the dove from him to see whether the waters had subsided from the face of the ground. But the dove could not find a resting place for the sole of its foot, and it returned to him to the ark, for water was upon the surface of all the earth. That's interesting. So the raven had no problem. The raven was good. Dried from upon the earth. Then he sent out a dove. That's interesting. I had never heard of this part. That seems very symbolic. That there was a raven and then there was a dove that was sent out. Why the raven first? Ravens are very smart. They're like crows. They're very smart. Doves, not as smart. I've owned doves. Quite stupid, actually. Maybe the raven was like, I should probably head back. Getting kind of tired. And the dove was like, there's nowhere for me to land. What do I do? Maybe there'll be more information about this. And so he put forth his hand and took it and brought it to him to the ark. He waited again and another 7 days and again sent out the dove from the ark. The dove came back to him in the evening, and behold, an olive leaf it had plucked with its bill. Oh, and Noah knew that the waters had subsided from upon the earth. Then he waited again another 7 days and sent the dove forth, and it did not return to him again. And it died. But the dove with the olive leaf, that's where that comes from, I guess. It's like a peace offering. It was almost like God's peace offering to Noah. He sent the dove back with the olive leaf. It's like, all right, we cool? We cool. See what happens. And then Noah got a little greedy. He was like, all right, let's get some more olive leaves. And the dove died. Well, we don't know if it died, but it never came back. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the first month, on the first of the month, the waters dried from upon the earth. Noah removed the covering of the ark and looked, and behold, the surface of the ground had dried. And in the second month, on the 27th day of the month, the earth was fully dried. God spoke to Noah, saying, Go forth from the ark, you and your wife, your sons, and your sons' wives with you, every living being that is with you, of all flesh, of birds, of animals, and all creeping things that move on the earth. Order them out with you, and let them teem on the earth, and be fruitful and multiply on the earth. So Noah went forth, and his sons, his wife, and his sons' wives with him, every living being, every creeping thing, and every bird, everything that creeps on the earth came out of the ark by their families. Then Noah built an altar to Hashem, and took of every clean animal and of every clean bird, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. Hashem smelled the pleasing aroma, and Hashem said in his heart, I will not continue to curse again the ground because of man, since the imagery of man's heart is evil from his youth. Nor will I again continue to smite every living being as I have done, continuously all the days of the earth, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, summer and winter, day and night, shall not cease. Wow. Okay, well, let's unpack all of that. So Noah made an altar. Then he took a little bit of all the different animals and burned it. And Hashem was like, this smells good. All right, I won't kill anyone anymore or anything. I'll let you all live. I didn't know about the offerings. But he did also say that man's heart is evil from his youth. So he was like, okay, so I guess is he just like acknowledging the fact that humanity, the heart of humanity, is evil upon birth, but it's okay. That's kind of interesting. Like, that seems a little confusing. Like, it doesn't seem like he was really happy with man still, but he was just accepting, I guess. He just kind of accepted the fact that there will be evil, and evil is a part of life, and thus he's like, I'll let you all live. Yeah, but he said, I'm not going to smite anyone. Okay. Maybe there's more information. God blessed Noah and his sons, and he said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the land. The fear of you and the dread of you shall be upon every beast of the earth and upon every bird of the heavens, in everything that moves on earth, and in all the fish of the sea. In your hand they are given. Every moving thing that lives shall be food for you. Like the green herbage I have given you everything. But flesh, with its soul, its blood, you shall not eat. However, your blood, which belongs to your souls, I will demand. Of every beast will I demand it, but of man, of every man for that of his brother, I will demand the soul of man. Whoever sheds the blood of man, by man shall his blood be shed. For in the image of God he made man, and you be fruitful and multiply, teem on the earth and multiply on it. Whoa, okay. So you can eat all the animals, you can eat all the things that I've given you, but don't eat yourselves. So direct, like, no cannibalism. In fact, I didn't actually know that. I didn't know that God forbade cannibalism. I thought that cannibalism was just like a thing that we would just not chill with because it's just like kind of gross. But I guess, so humans aren't kosher. I guess that's not, I say that like it's like a big realization. Wait, humans aren't kosher, but I guess I probably knew that. Like, yeah, of course they're not kosher. I mean, we haven't even gotten into like kosher law, but this pretty clear, humans don't eat them. But flesh with its soul, its blood, you shall not eat. However, your blood, which belongs to your souls, I will demand. Of every beast, I will demand it. But of man, of every man, for that of his brother, I will demand the soul of man. So he's saying your blood is your soul, and I want your soul. But the beasts, I want their blood. That seems like a distinction that God is making about, and Rabbi Teller and I have talked about this. It's like a distinction that he's making about the difference between the physical body and the soul, in the sense that, like, animals don't have a soul. They just have blood, but it seems like here we are tying blood to soul for humans only. Okay. And God said to Noah and to his sons with him, saying, and as for me, behold, I establish my covenant with you and your offspring after you, and with every living being that is with you, and with the birds, with the animals, and with every beast of the land with you, and all that departed the ark, to every beast of the land. And I will confirm my covenant with you. Never again shall all flesh be cut off by the waters of the flood, and never again shall there be a flood to destroy the earth. Thanks. That's a nice little promise. All right, I'll never flood the earth again and destroy everything. And Noah's like, okay, good. Because this ark was hard to build, and getting all these animals, that was tough. Let's not do that again. God's like, you learned your lesson, didn't you? And Noah's like, yes, please don't do that again. Okay. And God said, this is the sign of the covenant that I give between me and you and every living being that is with you to generations forever. I have set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be a sign of the covenant between me and the earth. And it shall happen when I place a cloud over the earth, and the bow will be seen in the cloud, I will remember my covenant between me and you and every living being among all flesh, and the water shall never again become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the bow shall be in the cloud, and I will look upon it to remember the everlasting covenant between God and every living being among all flesh that is on earth. And God said to Noah, This is the sign of the covenant that I have confirmed between me and all flesh that is on the earth. Okay, cool. So the rainbow, of all symbols, the rainbow is like God's like signature to man that like we cool. The rainbow is essentially a bow, which is like a bow feels like something you put on a present. So it's almost like God is giving Noah and all of the animals a present and saying, all right, here's my signature. When you see the rainbow, a rainbow. Wait, rainbow. It's a bow. It's in the... Did you know that? I didn't know that. A rainbow is the bow that God put in the sky after rain to show his kindness after murdering everything, but now his kindness. Wow. I wonder if there's like a rainbow bracha, like a, hey, I see the rainbow, and thank you for this rainbow. That's a reminder. I should talk to Rabbi Teller about that. I bet there's a rainbow bracha. If there's not a rainbow bracha, we should make one. I'll write it. Okay, let's read a little bit more. The sons of Noah who came out of the ark were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Ham, or Ham, probably Ham. I don't think his name was Ham. Sorry. Ham, being the father of Canaan. These three were the sons of Noah, and from these the whole world was spread out. Noah, the man of the earth, debased himself and planted a vineyard. He drank of the wine and became drunk, and he uncovered himself with his tent. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father's nakedness and told his two brothers outside. And Shem and Japheth took a garment, laid it upon their shoulders, and they walked backwards and covered their father's nakedness. Their faces were turned away, and they saw not their father's nakedness. What? Oh, okay. Wait. So is this like... Yeah, Noah celebrated his journey, planted a vineyard, made a bunch of wine, drank it, and got drunk and passed out naked. That's interesting. What a celebration. And also such commitment, like to grow a vineyard, make wine just so that you can celebrate. Sometimes I don't even have the energy to go to a liquor store. This guy made an entire vineyard and then drank himself. I mean, look, if you're going to make a vineyard, you probably should get quite drunk. And he passed out naked. Of all the things to include, though, that's an interesting thing to include, that he was naked, and then the sons walked backwards and covered their father's nakedness. They walked backwards so they wouldn't look at it. It's their father. Why is that such a thing? Why were they so unwilling to look at their father's nakedness? Noah awoke from his wine and realized what his small son had done to him, and he said, "Cursed is Canaan, a slave of slaves shall he be to his brothers." What? Yo, he was just taking care of you. Ham, the father of Canaan, saw his father's nakedness and told his two brothers outside. Yeah, he was just like, hey, dad's naked. Go cover him. He shouldn't be naked. And then Noah wakes up and he's like, don't you cover me. And he said, blessed is Hashem, the God of Shem, and let Canaan be a slave to them. May God extend Japheth, but he will dwell in the tents of Shem. May Canaan be a slave to them. Noah lived after the flood 350 years, and all the days of Noah were 950 years, and he died. Huh. It's really weird. Why was he so mad about that? Was he mad, or maybe I'm misreading that? I don't know. Let's just read one more little paragraph and we'll call it a day. These are the descendants of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. Sons were born to them after the flood. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, I know that one, Riphath, and Togarmah. That's a cool name. Togarmah. The sons of Javan, Elisha and Tarshish, the Kittim and the Dodanim. From these the islands of the nation were separated in their lands, each according to its language, by their families and their nations. So, okay, so like the sons of Noah were kind of like the start of different cultures and stuff. Interesting. Oh, this next section gets big. This is a nice long section. Oh, and then there's like a whole family tree here. Yeah, there's Japheth, there's Ham, and there's Shem. Look at all these names. Nimrod. I've heard that word. Okay, cool. The 70 nations. All right, we'll get into that next time. Wow, what an interesting portion of the book. Like, the flood ends. God's like, that was rough, right? I won't do it again, but I hope you learned your lesson. And then Noah gets drunk, and his son's like, hey, cover him up. And then he's like, you suck. I think that's kind of what I got from that. I have a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions. Also, no cannibalism in the Torah. Cool. All right, until next time. Torah Time with Greg.